Okay, hi. I look kind of horrible, so I'm only gonna flash myself like really quick. Okay, so hi. Just installed my 12-foot prism frame premium pool set, metal frame, and it has some components that was a little bit confusing, but I'm just going to get straight to the chase. I'm not going to do all the backstory, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to get started. Okay, so one thing I want to say that you might want to get up front if you are planning on setting up your pool in an area where the land is not completely level. So I recommend going to the store and getting at least 3 brick pavers, 3 to 4 brick pavers. Try to get the ones that are as medium thin, small, low to medium thin. You don't want the huge big brick pavers. You want the small to medium size ones. But just get those just in case. Keep your receipt just in case you have to return them. Okay, now in the box you are going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're going to get 12 fat arms, and you are going to get 12 skinny ones, and you are going to get 12 T-shaped arms. Now, the directions do recommend letting the liner sit out in the sun for maybe a day before you start to put it together so that it can warm it up and loosen it up. I do recommend doing that. Mine, for whatever reason, was kind of warm when I got it out my basement, so it didn't need to sit in the sun that long, but nonetheless, I recommend you do that. Now, the big fat arms, they go in here. They're gonna have 2 indentations on each side that the T-arms go into. So you put these in, you put another one in, and you connect it with the T-arm. I do recommend that when you get the last one in, you're definitely going to need 2 to 3 people to help you put this together in 30 to 60 minutes. So I recommend when you put the last one in, you get the strongest of the 3 people to get that one in, because it's going to take a little bit. And sometimes towards the end, these things are going to stick out like this, and you're going to need the strength to push it back down so that it'll be level, so that you can put the feet in. Now, when you put the feet in, make sure that they are all going behind this. Make sure it's not on this side. Make sure it's on this side. The little black cups, I recommend putting these legs into the black cups before you start to attach them. It's just easier that way. So now you have your frame built. You have your 12 fat arms connected by your T-arms, and you have your feet connected behind this strap. And like I said, make sure you put the black cups on the feet before you put them on. And the part, these here, up here, the little thing that's up underneath here has a little hole in it. The holes mean nothing, but the part with the hole sticks into this part, and the part without the hole goes into the black cups. So now you have your frame up. Now, before you do anything else, go inside your frame, inside the pool, and kick out the liner so that it is as straight as you can get it. Because once you start to fill it, it is a bitch to try and do it once you get any water in there. So make sure that you kick the liner out and make it as straight as possible. Second thing is, here are your connections for your filter. It's a connection there, it's a connection there, and it's a connection there. This is your filter. You are going to get 4 plastic tubes. The longest of the plastic tubes go into the lone connection that's over here. The lone connection that's over there. That's where the longest plastic tube goes. And you connect the plastic tube on the bottom. On the top, you connect one of the short tubes. Once you connect the short tube, you are going to have another T. See how this is a T right here? Oh, dragonfly. T here and a T there. You're going to connect one of the small tubes to the top of the filter. You're going to connect that tube to one side of the filter. You're going to connect another plastic tube to the other side of the filter. And then you're going to connect the fourth tube to the T side of the filter. You see these little clamps? Once you connect them onto the tubes, you use these clamps to keep the water in. So you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's 1 over there, 7. You're going to get 8 of them. Make sure that when you put the tubes on, that you use the clamps to connect them closed. I recommend putting the filter together before you come out here to connect it to the tube, connect it to the pool. I wouldn't try putting the filter together out here at the same time. Take it in the house, get out the sun, connect all the tubes, and then come out, and then all you got to do is just stick them in there's going to be 3 black, if you can see it, 3 black connectors here. The tube goes onto the outside of the connector. I'm going to see if I can get in the pool to show you what it looks like. That is another filter. The directions are going to tell you how to put that together. That's a little bit too intricate, and it's already together for me to try and tell you how to put that together. But the directions that it comes in the package with that tells you perfectly how to put that together. But this is one connector, that's another connector, and that's your third over there. Okay, now essentially your pool is together. They recommend you fill it maybe a quarter of a way, just to see what your water level is, what your water balance is, in terms of, is one side higher than the other? Are you going to need to use the brick pavers? I did not do that. I filled my pool damn near to the top when I realized I needed to get brick pavers. So I had to let water out. Now, if you're like me and you don't do that ahead of time, you're going to regret it, because I had to buy 2 hose extensions to let the water out. These are my brick pavers, because part of my backyard isn't level, and even though I spent $200 on sand, I didn't get enough sand, so I had to get brick pavers. And then I let out some water. My son, who is gargantuan, lifted up the legs, and I put the brick pavers underneath there. Again, unless you have a gargantuan son like me, let most of the water out before you do that. And I also put a tarp down. I had my son build a box, a 2x2x14 box, and the pool is 12 feet, and they tell you to have at least 2 to 3 feet space on either side of the pool, just for, you know, people getting in, getting out. But I put a tarp on the bottom. I put the sand on top of that tarp. Then I put another tarp on top of that sand, because I just didn't want the sand all over my backyard. So now your pool is together and you're filling it. It took about 4 hours for my pool to fill. And I do have my hose back in here because, like I said, I let out some of the water because I needed to put some brick pavers on because my pool was uneven. It's still a tad bit uneven, but not as much as it was before I put the brick pavers on there. As you can see, I already bought my little floaty. A couple of things you should get before you even put your pool up. You want to get the floating chlorine tablet dispenser. See the little blue thing over by my my little floaty? You want to get that. You want to get a thermometer. There's my thermometer right there. And I went and purchased some pool sanitizer. I purchased some shock treatment, and I purchased some strips. I probably didn't need the strips because this is just a small rinky-dink pool. It's not like I have a 30-foot Olympic size pool, but I got it just in case. This was my first time, trial and error. I'll see how it goes. But there's my, right there, there's my chlorine dispenser. The little thing on the top screws off. You drop the tablet in there, screw that back, and then you just throw it in the pool. And then it kind of self-dispenses over a 1 to 2 week period. I think that is it. Hopefully this is a good video. Oh, you also want to make sure that when you're connecting your pool, that the area where your filter goes is by a power source. My power source is right there. Right there. That's my power source. So you always want to make sure that your pool is, the connectors are facing where your power source is. So when you turn your filter on, you don't have to struggle to, number one, have it by the pool, and to figure out a place to plug it in. It was actually really easy. The directions are shit. I didn't like the directions. They weren't very descriptive, but it got us, part of the way there, and then the ingenuity of my son and his friends got us the other part of the way. So it's not a huge pool. It's not as huge as I thought it was going to be, but it's big enough for my 9.5-year-old daughter and her friends. It's big enough for me to just laze in on a hot day when I'm done sitting at my kitchen table working from home, and I want to come outside and I just want to laze in the sun and under some cool water. So it's not huge, but it's huge enough. So I'll probably do another video when I get ready to take it down, because this is Michigan and we get a lot of snow, and it just wouldn't be good for me to let this sit out in the snow. So I'll do another video when I get ready to take it down. All right, hopefully this helps. I'll know in the comments if I was helpful or not, and if I wasn't very helpful, I'll sit down and write out a script, and then I'll do another video. Thanks for listening. Bye.